It is morning. It is morning and she wakes. It is morning and she wakes and the birds sing. The birds sing as they always sing. It is morning and the birds sing as they always sing, and for a moment, everything is the same. For a moment, when she wakes, everything is the same as every other morning with the birds singing. But it is not the same. It is the same for the birds, but it is not the same for her. Nothing will be the same. She knows it as she listens to the birds and to the world waking up around her. Today is the day. Today she will have to say the words. She will have to say the right words. Otherwise the unthinkable will happen and she will have done nothing, said nothing to stop it. The birds sing. Easy for them. They weren't listening. Everything is the same for them. Fast asleep in their nests they were, and even if they weren't, they wouldn't have heard it through the double glazing. 4 words, quietly enough spoken. 4 words have changed her world. We might be moving. She said nothing, only looking and smiling. A small smile, half a smile. People used to say she had a brilliant smile, a smile that would melt hearts. She doesn't want to melt anyone's heart. How can a melted heart keep beating? And so she uses her smile with great care, makes it a little smaller, a little less brilliant, not wanting to find herself unintentionally a murderer of masses, a life sentence hanging over her otherwise innocent head. She sits up now in bed, repeats the 4 words to herself. We might be moving. They're acrid in her mouth. She spits them out, but the taste lingers. Time to get up. She opens the curtains. She opens the curtains and lets the day come in. She opens the curtains, lets the day come in, and brushes back her beautiful black hair. Today is the day. Today I will say the words. She washes her hands. She looks at her face in the mirror. She smiles her most brilliant smile, testing it out. Her heart feels okay. A bit heavy, but that's because of the 4 words. Maybe she's immune to her own powers. We might be moving, she says to the mirror. She says it to the tap. She says it to the toilet and then realizes she's forgotten to flush. She flushes. She knows she should wash her hands again after touching the handle. She normally would. But today isn't the same as other days. Today she is going to say the words. Today she has to say the words. Say the right words to the right person at the right time. She's worn out just thinking about it. She turns on the shower and thinks for a moment of all the little bacteria she cannot see. The invisible microbes who have moved house twice now in the past minute. Once from the flusher to her hand, and now uprooted once more to divide and conquer the uncharted territory of the shower power button. Shower power. Will they be happy there? She wonders. The microbes. Will they be happy in their new home? Would they have preferred to be washed down the sinkhole to be reunited with long-lost friends and family? She isn't sure. She thinks about asking them, but she can't say the words. She takes a shower. She takes a shower and says nothing. There's not much you can say to a shower after all. She says nothing, but she sings. She sings the shower a song, a litany of songs, a compilation of the greatest hits of her lifetime, a life in progress. The world, the outside world. She steps out into it, dressed. The outside world is under. The outside world is under construction. Yesterday they ate up a whole building across the street, standing tall in the morning, By midday, reduced to rubble. And they didn't stop there. Another. They started on another, only by 5 o'clock, end of day, close of business, clocking off. They weren't done. And so they left, tore down the front walls and left the rest exposed. She can still see. She can still see inside. The bookshelves, pictures clinging onto the walls for dear life. Embarrassed for its nudity, she wishes for a shawl to cover it up, protect its modesty. For want of a shawl, she pulls her cardigan tighter, closer around her body, as if it is she who has had her walls ripped down and stands exposed for all the world to see. By evening it will be gone. Another one bites the dust. R.I.P. Thanks be to God. It's time for tea. Time to get away from the sounds of the building site before they bury her soul under a heap of rubble never to be seen again. She opens the door into another dimension where somehow, against the odds, she expects to find a kind of peace. It is another construction site. The bang, 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 clatter, bang, clang, ching, crash, grrrr, that goes into the building of cup after cup of coffee. The chatter of friendships in the making, in the breaking, quotes for mortgages and the cars a write-off, and such told me to tell her what I told you, but then she said, no, not her, the other one, that if I did that, I'd be liable. And no, we've nothing booked yet, and we've the wedding as well in August, so we'll have to see. And have you seen that film? Your man is in it. What's his name? No, not Cary Grant, the other one. No, it's not a new one, it's ancient, you know, the one. And the kids are grand, yeah. Megan's mad into the ga. Funny, isn't it? Sam wouldn't know a Schlitter if it jumped up and bit him in the face. Computers. Yeah, sure, they're all into that. She holds her ears to give them time to acclimatise to the atmospheric assault. She tunes it all in, the anti-symphonic cafeness of it all. And she is so focused on her search for a time signature, a beat she can trust in the midst of this seemingly random chaos, that she doesn't feel herself drifting, floating along in the queue. She doesn't feel it until the all-important question is popped. What can I get you? She's had no time to make the words, no time to form her request. Fight or flight, flight or fight. She thinks of the wrecking ball and of the great unknown that awaits her if she leaves this semi-sanctuary. Better the devil you know. In a blind panic, she looks up past the waiting eyes of her server. She looks up past the waiting eyes of her server and reads from the board, a grande venti maca latte frappa kappa mocha americano decaf with oat milk and cream. Please. Defeat. It crashes down hard and fast. It crashes down hard because all she wanted was a nice cup of tea. But she couldn't say the words. What's your name? Server stands poised with permanent pen. This one is easy. She examines the badge of honour pinned to the t-shirt attached to the body of the human employee across the counter from her. Martina. Martina? My name is Martina. A nod, a semi-smile as server Martina marks the letters on the cup, remarking on the funny coincidence. Other days are more difficult. Yesterday, Marek was more than a little suspicious, and last week John just thought she was having a joke. Martina! She jumps to attention as she remembers her name of the moment. Then she retrieves the monstrous concoction she has accidentally invented and finds herself a quiet corner in which to deal with it. She's out again. Out. She wanders, lost for a moment. Lost for a moment, she wanders, then stops, standing in the right place at the right time when along comes a bus. An unknown bus. And this being a day unlike other days, she makes an unusual decision. She's going to get on the bus. She is going to go on the bus as far as it goes. Might as well. She is safe now. Doesn't have to say any words now. She takes the card from her pocket and leaps it to the tapper thing, leaps it to the tapper thing and taps it. Full fare, all the way to the end of the road. She finds a seat on the outside. She likes to sit on the outside. There are 2 reasons for this. She would prefer 3, but there are only 2. Number 1, she doesn't like to disturb anyone, doesn't like to put anyone out. Number 2, when she's sitting on the inside and approaching her stop, she has to say the words. She can't always say the words, make the words, "Excuse me, please," to try to explain away her audacity in perforating the private bubble of her headphoned, phone-gobbled prison warden. As one who lives most richly inside her head, she knows what it's like to have your bubble, your sphere of safety, abruptly burst. She will travel infinitely beyond her stop, waiting for her keeper to alight, sooner than request an escape route. So she finds a seat on the outside. For 15 minutes, the bus doesn't move. Traffic jam. She wonders what it tastes like. Traffic jam. Smoky, loud, sticky, she supposes. Foul. And then they're off. She melts, sinking into the world of the bus. A little girl is laughing with her daddy. They're singing a song. He keeps saying the wrong words. And she's laughing. She's laughing at him, and he's laughing too. And then they're gone. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, girl's daddy. Goodbye, daddy's girl. Onward. Until suddenly, she's there. The last stop. And she gets off to find out where it is she's ended up. And this is what she hears. She stands. She stands and she listens. And then she sees. And this is what she sees. It has been many years since she has seen the sea. She sees the sea, breathes the sea. She lives in a city with the sea at both ends, and yet it has taken her this long, years, to realize that stepping onto the right bus at the right time would take her all the way here. And now that she is here, she takes it in. She takes it in. She takes it in like a long-lost friend. And then she takes off her shoes, draws in a deep breath, and she says the words. She says the words, "Hello, sea." And hello waves the sea over and over as it crashes against the shore, trying to eat the feet off her. She lets it. She closes her eyes and lets it try to suck her feet to sea. But when she opens her eyes, they're still there. And the sea keeps talking. Hello, hello, hello. The hem of her skirt is sprayed now and sucking in salt. Hem, a hem, an interruption between skirt and leg, nobody knowing what secrets are locked up in the delicate centre of its 1/4-inch fold. She walks, walking the fine line between solid and liquid. And which is she? Neither nor? Either or? Ether? Gas? Maybe. It's been said to her before, "You're gas, you know that?" Them laughing, her baffled, 1/4 smiling. But now that she thinks of it, maybe they're right. She's gas. You're gas. She says the words. And that's when she notices the smell, carried coastward from the promenade, the unmistakable odour that can mean only one thing: chips. She practices the words as she makes her way across the stones. She practices them over and over. There's no way she's getting them wrong. Over the path and over the road, she speaks to the beat of her feet. Chips, please, chips, please, chips, please, chips, please. Salt and vinegar? A nod. €2. Money changes hands, chips exchanged. A triumph. Beachwards again, a warm, hot, bitter-smelling parcel of potatoes cherished in her hands. And that's when she hears it. She hears it and she realizes she's made a big mistake. Gulls. She sees gulls. Seagulls. She drops the chips to the ground and runs, take them. But it's too late. Her mind drags her back in time. It's a different beach in time and place, but the sea is the same. Hello, sea. One step further. Hello, sea. Another step, another wave. Hello, sea. It's a game, braver now. A bigger step, 2 steps even. Hello, sea. She hears her name called out, she thinks. She turns, and so she doesn't see. She doesn't see this huge bear hug of a wave that the sea has sent to greet her. Down she goes, down, and rights herself only to be toppled again. It's a game, but the game isn't fun anymore. She tries to swim for the surface, but she doesn't know which way is up anymore. At last she finds it, sees the beach further now. It's getting away from her. She can see, but she can see people and waves and the gulls as up and down she bobs, but she can't say the words. Help me. It's the rain. It's the rain that brings her back to here, back to now, this beach. It's a different beach, a different time, but it's time to go. Goodbye, sea. And goodbye, 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 waves the sea. Thunder now, and no bus in sight. And even if there was a bus, she couldn't get on, wouldn't sully the seat with her sogginess, wouldn't stand there and watch the drips drop from her skirt down to the ground, joining the stream of other passengers' drips, unashamedly convening in a river that flows with great certainty up and down the aisle, its flow interrupted only by the sharp left and right turns of the bus as it busts its way into the city. The river lies in wait. Lies in wait for the arrival of an unsuspecting passenger with suitably slippery-soled shoes that it can trip and bring crashing down. She'll have no part in their downfall. And so she walks. She walks and she walks, and it rains until there is no difference now between herself and the rain. She's gas no more. A sodden solid weighted down. Every step bringing her closer and closer to becoming one with a puddle. Just as she is ready to be flushed down a drain into what lies below the city, she finds a door. She finds a door, and it is the right door. She knows it is the right door because when she looks across the street, she sees no buildings where buildings used to be. She knows it is the right door because when she puts her key in the lock, it turns. And the voice on the other side is the right voice. And the voice says, would you look at the state of you? You're drowned. Come on in and we'll get you dried off. And so she comes in, and that's when the music begins. Warm now and full of tea and toast and warmth. Warm and well fed and watching Love Island on the telly. I'm wondering what it would be like to live on an island of love. Not like that anyway. Even she who hasn't had love, not that kind of love. Even she can see that it's a sham what they're showing there. And so she floats away from the abdominally defined figures on the screen and back to the music. She is pulled into the music of her mind. It is almost time. Section by section, she conducts her thoughts into tune. Strings, woodwinds, brass, percussion. Strings, woodwinds, brass, percussion. Individually at first, section by section. Strings, woodwinds, brass, percussion. And then together. Building, strings, woodwinds, brass, percussion, building, building, building. The moment has come. In a gesture of unprecedented boldness, she grabs the TV controller and mutes those marooned lovers. It is time. She gathers them towards a final crescendo. Strings, woodwinds, brass, percussion. She opens her mouth, flexes its unpredictable muscles, fully prepared for disaster. And out it comes. I don't want to move. And more. I want to stay here. And it's done. Exhausted, she closes her mouth. The orchestra disappears into the recesses of her mind. She closes her mouth and hands the action back into the safe, predictable arms of reality TV. And then, into the ether. A response. Okay. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. And a laugh rises. A laugh rises up as she imagines a big fat zero, a sculpture of nothingness, forever encased in concrete. Nothing is set in stone. Late night. Late night now. And she opens her window to let the night come in. And in the American movie of her mind, crickets, no, cicadas. Cicadas chirp a chorus of congratulations. No cicadas here, but on they chirp regardless. With the night safely inside, she closes the window, draws the curtains. Another giggle, drawing the curtains. She says the words and lies in bed and listens. She listens. She listens to the bed and to the pipes, onward to the dripping tap, to the faint alarm sound in the distance that's been going on for days, to the screech of brakes and the hum of traffic, to a wheelie suitcase trundling, where to? To find refuge for the night or travel onwards? Wherever its destination, she wishes it well. Closing her eyes, she hears the crickets again, singing her into another place, singing her into sleep. Home. She is home. She is home, and she knows. And she knows that tomorrow she will wake. It will be morning. It will be morning, and the birds will sing. The birds will sing as if everything is the same. But it is not the same. It will not be the same. It will not be the same because today she said the words. And even if everything changes, she will have spoken her words, her wishes, spoken and heard. She said the words. She said the words. And so she smiles. She smiles her most brilliant smile into the darkness, and the heart of the night melts around her.